Hello, my name is Robert SHELIDE, Chief of Police for Shelby Township Police Department. Welcome to Straight Talk. With me today is none other than a superstar Deputy Chief, Mark COIL. Mark, welcome to the show.
Chief, happy holidays. How are you?
Good, thank you. Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
It's always nice.
In this segment, we're going to be talking about our year in review, 2019. So it was a big year for the Shelby Township Police Department, 2019, a lot going on. First thing I want to talk about is our building renovation and addition. You know, back several months ago, or actually almost a year ago, you and I sat in a meeting, the first meeting with the engineers and architects and all the different people. And I, after sitting through one meeting, I said, I can't do this. I excused myself, I put you in charge of the project, and why don't you take it from there?
So we had talked about it once before. We talked about the needs as the township continues to grow, so do the police and fire services. We need to provide services to our community. And what you and I really realized pretty quickly was that we had outgrown the space and we needed more space to accommodate the needs of the township. So this addition, you defaulted to me, and the renovation to me, and realistically, I think the superstar, the unsung hero of the entire project is Patty Koenig. She keeps me on track and has kept this project going. We're in the final stages and we should be completed hopefully within a month.
Now, we had 7,100 square feet of additional space added to the police department, and then we renovated our entire existing space. You want to talk about the highlights of the renovation and the addition?
Sure. So what we did was we put a survey out and addressed our staff and said, what are we missing? What doesn't work? And probably the biggest area that we realized is that we didn't have an executive conference room to hold staff meetings. It was cumbersome and awkward to put our entire administrative staff together and hold meetings that were beneficial to them. And then the second real operational issue was our booking room. Our booking room was too small. It was kind of inadequately designed from the beginning. So we worked with the architect and used the space more effectively, more efficiently, providing safety and security to both officers and the incarcerated as well.
Well, I want to tell you, you've done a great job. You and Ms. Koenig have done a fantastic job. I know we have Greg Newbacher and Ron Mix working, helping you also. One of our 4 pillars of excellence is pride. And every time I walk in that building, I have great pride looking at, and my hat's off to you for the great job you've done.
Well, thank you, but I'll segue that right into teamwork is another one of our pillars, and it really has been a team effort. Everybody's hands have been on deck. We listened to our people, and we addressed the needs that they brought to our attention.
Thank you. Now, 2019 was a big year for technology in our department. A lot of new things came to light. I'll toss a few of them at you. We upgraded our Faro machine. We bought a piece of equipment called TrueNarc. Also, we bought body cameras for all our police officers, and then we have a new in-car camera system that was about 9-10 years old. So a lot of different changes, and we had the ThrowBot also. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so 2019 was kind of a lot of technology advancements, really kind of allowing us to move to the 21st century policing. The first thing that you talked about was a Faro system. It's a 3D a scanner that affords us the opportunity to process scenes. It's high tech. It's utilized in accident reconstruction to home invasions, and God forbid if we were to have assaultive or homicides, we could use that and put a scene together in a 3-dimensional image. We've partnered on a couple occasions with other municipalities, and really kind of goes in line with what we are doing is trying to strive to set the standard for law enforcement excellence, is where you and I started. And now we really move forward to setting the standard. And this piece of equipment allows us to do that. It affords us the opportunity to set the standard for criminal investigations.
I guess when it comes to technology, if you don't keep up, you're going to fall behind.
Faro is a company that produces, among other things, a 3D scanner, but they have different types of products that are measurement devices. And the device that we purchased, the police department, is a 3D scanner.
The way Faro works is it goes out there and it shoots a bunch of photographs, and it puts it into something like a virtual room that gives us the ability to take measurements even after we leave the scene. So if there's something we might have missed, we can go back out, we can open the program up, measure from point to point or for vehicles, for certain scenes, indoor, outdoor.
The Faro 3D scanner can be used for any number of things. What we in particular use it for at the police department, right now we use it for documenting crime scenes and crash scenes so that the evidence is documented, but also it's measured.
You know, we want to be as proficient as we can, use the best technology out there and make it easy on the guys to, when they do go to court, if they do have to make it a reliable source so juries and judges can see it and rely on it.
The 3D scanner has really been revolutionary in the way we do police work as far as evidence collecting.
It just made it quicker. If you go back all the way back to when I started in 2003, 2004, we were using tape measures on the roadway.
We would actually take out a tape measure and measure points, or I should say different locations of the evidence in an actual physical tape measure, measuring how long it is this way and how long it is that way, and triangulating like that, which took a lot of time.
As times change, technology gets a little bit better. We moved up through the stages, and we moved up to shooting with a laser, which gave us a little bit less time out there than moving up to the total station in 2007. That made it a whole lot better in terms of computer programs, drawing. Then we got the Faro, and it's just a complete game changer when it comes down to it. So we go from shutting a roadway down to 8 hours, and we can possibly get some of the easier scenes done in a couple.
And manpower as well, where it would take 3, 4 officers sometimes to either do the taping and the measurements, and then when we progress to the total station, it would take a minimum of 3 officers to do that, sometimes 4 depending on what the circumstances were. That's 4 officers. Now you can literally do it with 1 officer. That's a huge savings to us as far as manpower, that we can allocate those other officers to take other calls and do other things, so we're not all tied up at the scene. With the Faro 3D scanner, it's been wonderful in the sense that when we'd go to a crime scene, crash scene, we had one chance to collect evidence. We had one bite of that apple. And we had to make sure we did a very, very thorough investigation, took our time, made sure everything was documented perfectly, and just, it was very, very time consuming because, like I said, we only got one chance at it. And evidence can be time sensitive in some cases. And crash scenes are no different. And so when we go to these things and use the 3D scanner, what happens is that when we take that measurement, it scans everything for us. So what it does is it saves it for us so that when we're actually looking at it, we're looking at it in real time when we were there at the scene. We're looking at it from the same perspective. We can go to it every single day. We can go to it hundreds of times, be in the actual scene hundreds of times, but not actually have to be there physically. And so that's what the 3D scanner affords us. It affords us the opportunity to capture that scene and be able to preserve it perfectly for an indefinite amount of time.
It's trying to make the work smarter, not harder. When this allows us to, I mean, you sit and you go through the programs, you realize the capabilities of what it has to. You have very little information at the scene that you can work with. You can bring it in here and create things that we had no idea you could do back in 2003, 2004 when you're out there with tape measures and you had to rely on photographs and you might miss things. This gives us the capability of the Faro. You can take out there and it shoots a bunch of photographs. You might not even see things at the scene. You bring it back here, you upload it into the software program. You can enhance the lighting, things that you might not have seen in the background that you might pick up on once you open the software program. So much more efficient, so much more clean and trustworthy now, where you don't have to go back maybe 2 or 3 times to a scene because it gives you things that you might have missed in the first place that you had no idea that you even needed.
Moving on, the body cameras. I know that that's a big issue between body cameras and in-car camera systems. The evolutional cycle of our in-car cameras were coming to an end. So we knew that we had to make the decision now if we were going to move into body cameras. And you and I talked about it and decided that it was the right time to do this.
Correct. And then now the throwbot for our special response team, for our tactical response unit, actually, the throwbot, you want to talk about that?
So you can't open a newspaper, or you can't scroll through some sort of tablet and not see that there's a war on police officers, and there's a war on society. We had an active shooter incident in New Jersey yesterday. If we have something contained and we need to survey or to look at a building or a, God forbid, school, we have a technology now that we don't have to put our officers in immediate harm's way. We can use a throwbot to use it as a form of reconnaissance to go out and search buildings without putting our officers in direct harm's way. It was something that was vetted by the tactical team, and they requested it, and I think it's been a great piece of equipment.
We got 2 showers. First shower clear. We got an armed subject in the second shower.
Police department, drop the gun. Drop your hands up.
Moving on, TrueNarc is a great piece of equipment. Unfortunately, the reason that we have to use it is because of the harm and exposure to our officers. It's a device that affords us the opportunity to look at substances and detect what that substance is. When we were using these the old-fashioned way, our officers were in direct exposure to the substance. The TrueNarc allows us to scan this substance through protective measures. We don't have to come in contact, avoiding any contact with fentanyl or carfentanil that have been shown to be detrimental and catastrophic, causing death.
Anytime we believe we have a controlled substance, we can either take that substance and test it here at the station, but the TrueNarc allows us to take it out to the scene. And it's a very valuable tool. Within seconds, we can scan that product and figure out what it is.
I guess I'm here today to kind of give you guys a first-hand look at how we use our TrueNarc. This is a laser scanner. It gives guys the ability to, I guess, scan substances that we normally wouldn't check in the field just because of health hazards or risks out there in the field. So we come back here, or at the scene for that matter, as long as we have the right safety precautions, we can use this machine now to figure out what substance we're dealing with, if there's a couple unknown substances in the field that we got to find out. So I'm going to kind of step you through it and show you guys how quick it is and how simple it is. So this is the machine itself. So anytime we're handling, you're going to get ready. Obviously you have a little bit different scenario because today's a controlled environment. Normally we have a vent hood back here. Guy's going to bring a substance into the station to make sure they're safe. They're going to bring in here. We have fans that blow outside the building, so it's actually sucking any kind of powders or anything else if we don't know what they are. You're going to wear gloves all the time. Anytime you got your hands on something you don't know, then we're going to mask up. I'm not going to put a mask on today just so you can hear me talking, but we do have these masks that blocks out any powders. So I'm going to go ahead and put one of these on if you don't know when you're bringing it into here. For extra precautions, we have our face shields as well. Just keep everything in here in a controlled environment so we know what's going on. We know we're as safe as we possibly can be. Okay, so we get a pass test. It says at the bottom there, self-check pass. That means we can go ahead and analyze whatever we want to test. Got a few samples today. Obviously, if we're going to go into, again, bring it into the controlled environment, bring a few over here. So we're going to test in here under the vent hood. Either your mask on, a face shield, you got your gloves on. So a few different things. We'll go with, see, it doesn't take much. As long as a clear background here, and as long as we can see some of the powder, it doesn't need a whole lot to scan, although the laser's coming out the end there. So all it's got to do is be able to catch some of the substance you want to read. So we'll go through the pass, and then I'm going to go up to the scan button now that we did the self-check. Going to hold the laser on whatever substance you have. Hit scan. Again, it's going to ask you, do not scan suspected energetic materials. Means the laser's coming out the end. And hit scan.
It keeps our officers and the public safer. It allows us to test a substance. We can actually scan it through the packaging materials, either being plastic or glass. We don't have to manipulate it anymore. We don't have to handle it. We're worried about contamination, and this definitely cuts down on it. One single scan, we can test for over 450 controlled substances. We couldn't do that before. It was one test at a time using old kits that we had to put a sample into the kit, mix it, and try to get a result.
Now we're going to grab, it's a known substance here. And click OK. Portion of that. Now it's going back through the analyzing process. This one comes back clear. This means there's no health risks. And it just puts on the bottom there, confection of sugar. So it'll run through its own database, and what it does is it scans everything that they've put into the database, and whatever the laser reading and the science that goes into this machine, it reads it and gets off a graph that comes back, and it fits on their chart. So you can actually look it up. So what we would do from there is, say they came back, I don't know, heroin or cocaine, it goes back on there. We're going to take this machine, take it over to our computer, plug it in, let it go to the TruNarc site.
It allows us to get our cases in court a lot faster now. Prior to that, we weren't testing those substances because I didn't want my officers contaminated. So we'd have to wait, send it off to the lab, wait several months for it to come back. At that point, then we'd go for our warrants. So it really bogged the system down and tied our hands. We need to be able to deal with these cases in an efficient manner, and this definitely allows us to do so. If we arrest somebody tonight with those substances, we'll have a full printout for the prosecutor's office in the morning, and we'll have the warrant by the afternoon.
It's just going to show the readings and the substances, so we print off a little sheet like this, where it comes down to where it kind of shows up clear, and it gives you the what it analyzed and how it came to that conclusion based on a lot of the points and whatever's in the scanner, however it measured it, would match up and in fact identify the substances, whatever you tested it as. So these are the sheets we print off, we include with the case. These are all recorded and they go right over to the prosecutor's office where they can read them. It's been proven in court that this is an accepted testing process, so that's one of the items we can go with, is to keep guys safer on the road. We're going to try this one. This one is, I believe this one's cocaine, so we're going to see how it reads. So again, go back through the self-check. Get past. Just a little bit in here, so it doesn't take much. All you need is to get enough to get the laser on the front of it. So we're going to try to scan it, get it in the front of that. Okay, scan it, now it's just analyzing. Let's see what it comes back. This came back cocaine based. So you're going to look at it, it's red, so that's download it to our computer, print off the sheets, include it with the report, it gets sent over to the prosecutor's office for check.
Look at how much the drugs changed in the last several years. It's no more just heroin or just cocaine out there. They're mixing it with many things. And the TruNarc actually, we can identify the cutting agents also. So if we test a sample of cocaine, we can potentially find heroin and other substance, or fentanyl and other substances in there. So as much as they're advancing, we need to keep up with them too. And we can't be behind the 8 ball waiting several months for our warrants. This is way too important. We need to be able to get those who are using the drugs in our area help. And by getting those cases into court and getting them into treatment, that will definitely benefit everybody.
Let's see what this one comes back as. The reason why it takes longer on some of them, this means it could be trying to read different types of substance inside. Again, kind of a red flag for you. If it takes a little bit longer, there might be either your scan's not going very well, or there could be multiple things that the laser's trying to pick up on and doesn't quite know how to identify it. Okay, this one comes back red with MDMA. If you don't know what MDMA, there is it comes back with a list of all the test list on here, everything that's inputted into their their library of all the everything they've scanned in here that the machine is downloaded with. And here it comes with a list, so you kind of go through, look up. This is all alphabeticalized. Got MDMA on back on here. It showed up red. Go back to your code up in front here. So look, fine, MDMA comes back as heroin.
Mark, you've been in the profession 30 years. You've been at Shelby Township for 28 years now. We're getting phone calls from big agencies asking about our equipment. Where'd we get this? How much it was? Who do you deal with and everything? Does that bring you any pride?
Yeah, it's great pride. I mean, I've been here a long time, and I find that, you know, you and I have talked. We want to set the standard. We want other people to take notice of what we're doing, not for our personal gain, but just to be great ambassadors for the profession of law enforcement. The standard of excellence, the standard that we set, we hope that other people take notice and emulate.
Our police department township is extremely lucky and blessed to have the support that we have. We would have none of this equipment if it wasn't for our board of trustees. They've been extremely supportive of our administration since Deputy Chief COIL and I took over back in 2015. 5 years running, anything we went and presented our case and what we need, they listen, they contemplate, and they let us basically decide what's best for the township when it comes to public safety. So hats off to them. We're very appreciative of their support. It's been a great relationship over the last 5 years, hasn't it?
It has. You know, I've been here a long time, as I keep stating, but the best it's ever been.
Yeah, we're very appreciative of our support.
Absolutely.
And we would have none of this if it wasn't for them. Do you agree with that?
I agree. You know, they ask the right questions. They task us with doing things and then give us the tools to succeed.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative. Now, one of the things we put in place was our new cadet program. You and I both agree that we're looking back 15, 20 years from now. This is going to be the gem of our agency, what we put in place. We graduated our first police officers from the academy that hit the road in 2019. What do you think of the program so far?
So we spent the first half talking about the technology and the things that the pieces of equipment. Those are tool sets. The greatest asset that we have in our agency is not a policy or procedure you and I would ever draft. It's not a piece of equipment that we would buy. But really the greatest asset that we have is the heart set and mindset of our officers. Those are the individuals that will make the difference. Those are the individuals that will be out on the street enforcing the law, coming to your house, restoring order. So we knew that we had to hire. You and I decided that we have to hire the finest quality people to enter this profession. And when our other agencies around the United States were struggling, you brought something to me and said, what about a cadet program? We should start thinking about cultivating young minds to get into this profession. And we researched it. We sent out Lieutenant Barnard and others to research other programs. And we built our own from the ground floor, and it has turned out to be a total success. I get calls from my peers across the United States. Hey, Deputy Chief COIL, can you tell me how you did this? Tell me what's working. And as you said, our first group is on the street today.
I go to a restaurant, a very famous barbecue restaurant up in the Clarkston area, and the owner was telling me a story where a waitress came and got him. She said, there's some guys over there and they ordered everything on the menu. You know, I mean, it's kind of odd, obviously. So he went over there, hey guys, what's going on? They said, we're looking at opening a barbecue restaurant in the Royal Oak area. He said, well, I'll tell you what, everything you ordered is on the house, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm surprised you would tell him that. He said, let me tell you something, okay? Just because you have the recipe to something, this business is a lot harder than imagine, okay? You know, it's very hard to, and the reason I say that is because with our cadet program, we're getting all kinds of calls from people. I'm getting calls myself. You're getting calls from around the country. I'm getting a lot of local calls. What do you do with your cadet program? And Ron Mix came back, who's one of our coordinators of cadet program, and said, Chief, what do I tell these people? These local Macomb County departments want like our secret recipe. Give it to them. Tell them everything, because I know how hard it is to put this program in place. I mean, we had to move mountains, and at the last minute, at the 11th hour, it almost fell through, and you had to put it back together. I had severed ties with the union. It went sideways, obviously, and I was obviously, I was very upset. And you went to work and pulled your sleeves up and got this program in place. So we moved mountains to get it in place, and the rewards have been, I mean, like, fall back right now. You know what I mean? I'm so excited about it.
Well, like I said, I think that what has made it successful is our passion for this profession. Both of us are here because we love this profession. It's what we've done our entire adult life. It's not ours to keep, it's ours just to be keepers of, and we want to turn the profession over to the next generation of great cops. And how do you do that? You cultivate young minds, you bring them into the profession, you bring them in the fold, and most importantly, you teach them how to do the things the right way. So your secret sauce, if your secret recipe, is finding good quality human beings. We'll train you to become great cops. We will give you the tool sets and skill sets to be great police officers. What the trick of it is, and we'll let the secret out here today, is really finding those right people with the right heart set and mindset that come to this profession to do the right thing, to be public servants, to give back to their community. So that's the secret.
I've always wanted to be a police officer. My family has a business, and I mean, I love the family business. I'm super proud of everything, but there was always a part of me that I always wanted to be a police officer. So when I was 19, I started working as a cadet somewhere else, and then I went to school and became a cadet over here, but I've always wanted to be since I was a kid. So they told me I was gonna be promoted, and they were sending me through to the academy from the cadet program. I was super excited. They were generously paid for my academy and sent me through, which is a big deal. A lot of departments don't do that, so when Shelby Township decided that they were going to do that for not only me but 2 other people, it was a big deal. And I was super excited, and not only excited, but I was honored that they chose me. So my big thing is I don't want to let them down, and I want to go out there every day and work hard and, you know, make a difference out there.
Hi, did you call?
There's something different every single day. You know, you don't come across the same thing twice, and it's always exciting, it's always fun. The stories and the people you come across, it's just a very exciting job. There's no other job like it. Which the repairman just randomly calls and say, hey, you need a random update on, and then sends them downstairs to turn off, and is there.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he says he didn't take anything.
Fires for narcotic issues? Or no?
They don't even know his last name, so I have nothing on him, just a name. And I know that if I have a question with anything, you know, being brand new too, I can go and ask anybody a question. The cadet program gets a lot of young people experience for the job. Otherwise, there's really no other way for someone that wants to go into law enforcement to get like that hands-on experience that they want. You get to go on ride-alongs, you get to deal with people, fingerprint people, write reports.
121 dispatch.
It's a good experience just to get that experience. I think more women should join law enforcement because there's always a need for a female officer. There's some things that you come across that there's a female victim and she wants to be heard by, you know, another female, because it's kind of like more understanding, you know. If it's something embarrassing or, you know, something sensitive matter, it's just easier to talk to another female. Everyone here has such great morale. Everyone is so excited to come to work and to get work done. Can you run my suspect for me? But it all starts at the top. We have a great chief, and then great deputy chief, great captain, and everyone's so ambitious, and that's the thing I love. I love coming to work. I love, you know, I'm very motivated, and it all starts out from the top, and the whole department's that way. Great morale, and I work with such great people, great officers. We all help out each other. We all have each other's backs.
Ron Mix was the head of the cadet program, and he said that the chief wanted to talk to me in his office. So they brought me in the office, they sat me down, and the chief said that they're looking to send me to the academy. They said they liked how I was working and my work ethic, and they thought it'd be a good fit. And I was pleased. I was excited to be going. So I was one of the first cadets to come through. I was part of the first wave. It took care of all the computer work, all the in-house training and stuff like that. So once we got out of the academy and we were going to the road for our FTO program, we already knew all the computer systems, knew most of the township, the roads, the areas and stuff like that. So I think it was a tremendous help. That's a big step forward. Favorite aspects of the job? It's something new every day. I mean, you never know what you're gonna run into during the day. You're never stuck behind a desk. It's a pretty free and fun job because it's always dealing with the unexpected. And you get to go out there and you deal with people at their worst and show them that everything's gonna be all right. You can kind of help them out and just a positive aspect and a role model. I love it on my own. I'm able to kind of do the work I want to do. I'm young, so I like to go out there and hunt for stuff and try and catch the bad guys. And that's why I chose nights, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in progress at night. So you can be out there trying to catch the bad guys while they're in the act of committing the crime, or driving through the subdivisions at night in the middle of the night, 3, 4 in the morning, trying to catch guys breaking into cars. All different kinds of things you can do at night. I love it.
560 dispatch, 2353, send it to me as well.
I like to run a lot of license plates. By running a license plate on a vehicle, you can get a lot of information. You can tell who's driving, where they live, their driving history, the tickets they've had, any arrests, whether their driver's license is suspended, which usually means they didn't pay a traffic ticket, any warrants they have, or anything like that. So right now I'm trying to catch up to that silver Dodge Ram that's up there. Tuesday, my partner and I were sitting in a parking lot over there, and I checked the license plate of the vehicle, and the driver came back with warrants. However, it was a female driver. This time it's a male driver. So I'm gonna try and catch back up to the vehicle, run the license plate, double check the information that I had from Tuesday, and we'll see if we can get a traffic stop on him. This guy's gonna get out of our way. Yeah, that's gonna be our driver. David, 125 traffic.
125.
Pulling into Spring Hill off of West Utica.
Stay in there.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Do you have your driver's license on you?
In my pocket.
All right, go ahead and grab it. No guns in the car or anything like that?
No.
All right. Where are you headed?
Home.
All right. You living here?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you coming from? Sonic? All right. Went over at Hall and Hayes? No? All right. Okay. Arizona, do you have a Michigan ID?
No.
No? Okay. Is this your vehicle?
Yes.
All right. Do you have the registration and insurance for it?
Can I ask why I'm being pulled over?
So I checked your license plate and it shows your license is expired.
Can I ask another question?
Go ahead.
That's the registration. The insurance is digital. So it's
Digital? Okay.
I wasn't doing nothing illegal.
Correct. Nothing illegal. Just your license plate shows the registered owner of the vehicle is has a currently expired driver's license. So just keep looking for the insurance. I'll be back, all right? Suspended and warrants.
Yeah.
He's got an Arizona ID, so I'm gonna run him verbal.
560-109, you can 22.
Yeah, I recognize the truck. It was a female last time, but as a male, I remember the male had the warrants, so. What? That's what he says. He's showing a Harper Woods address on here, and he gave me an Arizona ID.
Go ahead.
Can I get my number, please?
He's a registered owner, but he has an Arizona ID.
Well, because his license is expired and suspended.
4778. 125 return.
Go ahead.
It's clear 1074.
Go ahead.
Showing expired, suspended, and also has one that's going to be out of St. Clair Shores. It's a criminal bench for a DWLS, 8,600 or 10%.
10-4. You're taking the plate.
Negative on the plate.
10-4.
You said he had an Arizona ID?
Yeah.
Did you run him out of Arizona too?
I'm going to.
You should have told her to run him also out of Arizona.
125 dispatch.
Go ahead.
I don't even see an ops code on here. Can you run the RO out of Arizona also?
03 handle. 10-4.
Want to wait for the return or just get him out? You want to wait for the return?
He's already going no matter what.
Okay. All right. All right, Jerome, can I have you turn off the car and put the keys on the dashboard for me? You can set your phone down too.
125.
Go ahead.
Are you arresting me?
Yes, sir. Your driver's license is currently suspended and you're showing warrant out of St. Clair Shores, okay?
Only out Arizona form.
10-4. All right, go and step out. Do you know your driver's license was suspended?
I don't have a driver's license.
Okay, how long have you lived here? Go ahead and turn off his car for me. Don't be reaching for stuff. Don't be reaching for stuff.
Keys. You said take the keys out.
Yeah, I'll get them. Just turn on, face the car, okay? Place your hands behind your back. Palms together like you're praying for me. All right, I'll probably have to use 2 cuffs on you, all right? You can let go. You can let go. Let go.
Can I have my daughter come and get the vehicle?
Does she live in the complex?
She does.
Yeah, I'll let you make a phone call. He said he's got enough money to bond. I'm going to call his daughter, see if she can come get the vehicle because we're in the complex. So.
All right, so you're going to have him use the cell phone to call her? Or?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Okay, so I have your father stopped at the entrance of your the complex here. He is getting arrested tonight, okay? He's got a suspended driver's license and a warrant out of St. Clair Shores. However, I am going to allow you to come pick up the vehicle if you're home. Are you home?
Okay, I'm on my way.
All right, we're at the entrance off of West Utica, okay? Make sure you bring your driver's license.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
All right, bye. I feel like a lot of people think that we're just out here to get traffic tickets. We have to meet quotas and certain things like that, and it's not true. There's no quotas we have to meet. There's nothing. We're just out here doing our job. The reason we make so many traffic stops and write so many tickets is more to keep people safe, not really to ruin your life or to bust up your driving record. The things you see on TV and social media, people are always bashing the police, and it's irritating because everyone hates the police until you need them. Then once you need them, everyone loves the police. So I wish people would just. It's good here in Shelby. I love it here in Shelby because we don't deal with people who hate us. Everybody here seems to love the police, which is nice. It makes an easy work environment. So I wish people all around were like that, so that we were, I guess, more respected.
Deputy Chief COIL, it's been a great 2019. I want to thank you for everything you've done for our community and our police department. I look forward to working another great year with you in 2020. Thank you. You've been watching Straight Talk with Mark COIL and Robert SHELIDE. We'll see you in 2020.